this is a message of, wow, of so much importance, because we have so many young, impressionable minds out here, and there is like an avalanche, tornado of sucker energy, sucker thinking, sucker ways, simp ways, weak men ways. I wouldn't even say weak men ways, because men, real men, ain't weak. We really are strong of mind and of body. But we are celebrating sucker culture, the way suckers think, the way suckers speak, the way suckers dress and behave. And we are force feeding it directly and indirectly to these young boys, young men. And what's happening is making a lot of these young ladies out here want to be with the suckers, as opposed to the men who are foundational character men. You know what I'm talking about? The men who stand on firm character and principles. And you understand what I'm saying? They are men who live their truth regardless of where they at, no matter who they're around, no matter if they up, down, don't matter. They're gonna stand like the men that they are in their truth. Solid, not salad, in the words of the great E40. So I just want to say to all the youngsters out there, beware of who you are listening to. That's your music, that's your OG, that's your neighbor, that's who you following on social media. Be mindful of the sucker shit that's going into your ears, going into your brain, coming out of your mouth, and then coming into your life. And then it becomes every day for you. And you become one of the suckers, one of the clowns, one of the goofies, one of the real lames. Because let me make this very clear. The lames and the suckers are the lames and the suckers who want to go along to get along, who want to be liked by everybody instead of being respected by everybody. Let's be clear. The young brothers out there in particular that are really doing their thing, that are waking up and fired up off of their truth, off of what they want to do. I don't care if it's playing video games, if it's playing soccer, if it's boxing, if it's, going to the library and learning, about Black history, and that's what you want to do because that's what really lights your fire and makes your clock tick and your boat float, then you do that shit. Y'all the ones. Y'all the real ones. Y'all the solid ones. Y'all the ones that's lit for real. It ain't the ones that's laughing at y'all and talking down. So let me be crystal clear. Be mindful of what and who you're listening to and why. Ask yourself, why am I even listening to this dude? Is he saying something that is really relevant to my existence, that's helping me, that's shaping me into more of a man, into a better human being, into a thinking man, not a emotional ass nigga? What is this? What you know what I'm saying? This type of music I'm listening to. Even the type of females you around. Is this woman in my life, does she respect and honor the man that I am? Or if for you a young man, the man that you're becoming, or she wants you to be like everybody? Or why you don't dress like him? Why you don't sound like him? Why you don't wear your hair like this rapper? Because I'm my own man, young lady. I'm going to do what I'm going to do. If you want to be with a guy who have his hair twisted like that, or have his head like this, or have tattoos on his face like this one, or have this type of clothing or whatever, then you go with him. I dress how I dress, because this is me. Don't conform to the sucker shit. Don't conform to the sucker culture, because it's really zapping the minds and the spirits of so many young boys that don't, before they can become young men. Because when they get around men like me and we sit down with them and we look them dead in the eyes and we say, what's up, young fella, what's going on? They doing this. Or they looking away, or they in their phone. Because they've been taught to avoid real interaction, not confrontation. Because I'm not talking about being confrontational with a youngster. I'm talking about interacting with them, connecting with them, and as opposed to just communicating. But when they are caught up in the sucker culture, they don't want to do this. They want to be as far away from the real, far away from the rough, far away from the tough, far away from manhood, far away from, you know what I'm saying, that spirit that men have when they walk into a room and you say, damn, yo, he got a powerful aura, man, of strength and character and love and light. I want to go over and shake his hand. That ain't being a sucker, young man. That ain't being soft. That means that you're drawn to the truth and the light. So keep being drawn to it and continue to examine what you're listening to, who you're listening to, and why. Because I tell you, when I turn on my social media and I scroll and I see certain things, I just have to scroll by a lot because, it's so much promoting men. It's so much promoting anything other than manhood or even womanhood. Substance and character. You don't really hear about that so much. And I notice that the men who stand for something become demonized. People look at you like you the bad man, the troublemaker and all that stuff. I see what's going on with 50 and I just laugh. Because I say, I don't get into what he does or who he's getting at or whatever, but I just look at how people will talk about him in such a derogatory way and don't sit down and think why he's moving the way he's moving, why he's saying some of the things he's saying, doing some of the things he's doing. If you take your feelings out of it and you look at what this man, how he's been moving for years, and you look at his track record, you will see, hey man, this brother ain't scumbag nobody. You haven't heard anybody talk about he hasn't paid them. You haven't heard anybody talk about, he's violated them in any type of way. And I can say this because I was locked up with one of his guys on Rikers Island. One of his goons, if you will. And I didn't hear nothing but good things about him. Solid things, man things about him. This was 20 years ago. And I've heard that from several people. I've never heard nothing about this man that was some sucker shit. Some underhanded fuckboy shit. But it's interesting that if and when he call out other people for being suckers and fuckboys, everybody is on his helmet. Talking about, oh man, he a hater, he's a lame, he's this. And I sit back and say, yo, this is interesting. Because the truth don't need no defending. So this video ain't about defending 50 or anybody of his character, right? Or any entertainer for that matter. I'm using him as an example because he's all over social media for certain things that he says and does and is doing currently. But it's just interesting when I see so much backlash, so much negative comments towards him and people trying to assassinate his character, but they don't sit back and say, objectively think about what's going on. And I see that so much nowadays, man. With anybody who stands on man time, who rejects the bullshit or who calls out the fuckery. And then you watch all these emotional ass niggas come to attack them for telling the truth. That's my point. And that's why I made this video, because I said, you ain't gonna never get me to be a part of the sucker train. You ain't never gonna get me to go against any man who's standing on truth. Truth. No matter how ugly it is. No matter even if it's against me. If somebody is speaking truth, I wouldn't even say against me, about me, I'm gonna say, yeah, he's telling the truth. I can't get mad at that man or that woman if they're telling the truth. If they're lying, it's another story. Y'all should be upset with the people who have not only been living a lie, but have been taking advantage of other people, have been helping to destroy other people's lives, have been, instead of being a blessing, they've been a lesson. Instead of being a fountain, they've been a drain. Y'all slow to call them out. Y'all slow to say anything about them. But when a man stands on truth, he's a lame, he's a sucker, he's a hater, he's petty. But I just sit back and I watch. Because this is what wise men do. And I say him, her, and them. I know not to be around them. Because they definitely gonna be irritated by my truth. And let me tell you something, my truth is ugly. My truth is good, bad, ugly, all that shit, all of the above, but it's truth. I can live with that and die with that, and my kids can too. They gonna know that before the world even say it to them. Oh, my dad already told me about that. My dad let me know about his past. My dad let me know about his indiscretions. My dad let me know about his ups, downs, highs, lows, peaks, valleys, earthquakes, volcanoes, and tornadoes. He let us know about it all. So anything y'all post, whatever, if it's the truth, we gonna salute it. Because he already told us. If it's a lie, then we know that's bullshit, and we gonna call that out. Don't support or encourage or continue to promote sucker culture. I'm not saying you got to get on the internet and say anything about it. If you choose to be silent about it, right? All I'm saying is live in truth, and in your spirit, and in your doings, and in your everyday, support those who are living in truth as well. Because it ain't about, everybody's not going to get on the internet or social media for that matter and say what I'm saying. But I know that the only reason why I'm saying this is because I know God is using me as a tool. This is my assignment. I'm assigned to do what I'm doing. I know that the reason why I've been given the opportunity to say what I'm saying is because I'm qualified. When you look at my history and you look at the things that I've been through and I've overcome and I've overcome and I've overcome and I've overcome, and all the fires that I've walked through, and I've been scorched, but I've been filled up with faith. So all the burning that was done to me, hey man, it just morphed me into more of a man. So I'm qualified and verified, however you want to say it, to do what I'm doing and say what I'm saying. Because I've been living my truth since I was born. And God has given me this platform to share my truth with y'all and open up Open up the curtains, open up the blinds, open up the windows. Let y'all smell the fresh air of truth, of life above the clouds, above this regular shit, this average shit, this nonsense, this foolishness of, you know, just getting on this train of doing everything the same and accepting lies for the truth, and then the truth for being lies. And demonizing the chosen ones that God have sent here to make things better for us all. So if anything you get from this video, just think about what I'm saying. I'm not doing it for favor from anybody, any rapper, any nobody, entertainer. That's not the intentions of this video. It's to make y'all think. Which way you want to go, how you want to live. In truth or a lie? I'm in truth. Y'all see this shirt? I wore this shirt before on my social media, YouTube, Instagram, and I'm wearing it again. That's my truth. I'm sitting here with my books, my water, my coffee I just finished drinking. That's my truth. Hey man, I'll be 50 years young in a couple of days, man. That's my truth. Do I look it, feel it? Nope. You know what I'm saying? Do I still rap my ass off? Yes. Has God given me a new lease on life? Yes. That's my truth. All I'm doing is encouraging you to to live in yours, right? And appreciate yours, and appreciate those who are living theirs. Even if they pointing at you, their truth makes you look at you and say, get your shit together. Stop bullshit. Not now, but right now. All right? Take that and run with it. One love.